In this presentation, I will be talking about Alzheimer's and its connection to viruses, HIV in particular. In 1906, Dr. Alois Alzheimer came across a patient with memory loss and worsening psychological changes. He later discovered brain shrinkage in that patient from a brain autopsy but couldn't understand what was happening. A psychiatrist working with Dr. Alzheimer gave the name of the disease after his death. They later named November as National Alzheimer's Disease Month. Alzheimer's is an inherited genetic disorder which consists of the development of amyloid plaques and neurofibrillary tangles, which break the connection to nerve cells, eventually leading to the death of those nerve cells. Some symptoms include sleeplessness, wandering, agitation, anxiety, aggression, restlessness, and depression. Caffeine was tested to help improve some aspects of Alzheimer's, but not completely, and some medications are prescribed depending on the severity of their condition. And to the right, we have a picture of Dr. Alois Alzheimer. There are two types of Alzheimer's, early onset and late onset. Early onset Alzheimer's is seen in less than 5% of the population of ages 30 to 60. It is caused by any gene mutation on chromosomes 21, 14, and 1. On chromosome 21, abnormal amyloid precursor proteins, or APP, is formed, whose function is still unknown by scientists. On chromosome 14, abnormal presenilin 1, or PS1, is formed, and on chromosome 1, abnormal presenilin 2, or PS2, is formed. Late onset Alzheimer's is common in individuals 60 and older. Scientists are still to discover the causes of late onset Alzheimer's, although they believe it may be caused by a gene mutation on chromosome 19, which increases the apolipoprotein E, or APOE gene. APOE contains instructions for making protein that carry cholesterol and other types of fat in the bloodstream. There are three types of APOE genes: APOE2, APOE3, and APOE4. APOE2 is rare and provides some protection against the disease. APOE3 is most common and plays a neutral role in the development of Alzheimer's, and APOE4 is seen in 10 to 15% of the population and in 40% of people with late onset Alzheimer's. Having the APOE gene was confirmed as a risk factor but does not guarantee the inheritance or development of Alzheimer's. On the left, we have a brain scan of an individual with mild Alzheimer's. In the middle is a brain scan of moderate Alzheimer's, and on the right is a scan for severe Alzheimer's. From 2000 to 2018, Alzheimer's cases have increased by 146%. There are 5.8 million Americans ages 65 and older diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and 80% of those individuals are 75 and older. Studies show that African Americans are twice as likely as whites to develop Alzheimer's, while Hispanics are 1.5 times more likely as whites. In the bar graph, we can see that women are more common to have Alzheimer's than men. Usually, the women around ages 45 to 65. The Alzheimer's gene can now be tested, but does not conclude that an individual will develop the disease. In a search to find treatments for Alzheimer's disease, scientists started testing mice. They exposed mice to flickering LED lights at 40 Hz and clicks played at 40 Hz for a week. They saw improvements in memory tasks, but discovered that it diminished after a week. They decided to expose the mice to the same conditions, but this time for 6 weeks, and they concluded that the improved skills last for a longer period of time. They have now considered gamma wave stimulations as a possible treatment for humans as well, but have not tested it yet. There have been some concerns that HIV and Alzheimer's may have a connection to one another. Stephen Jacobson and his team decided to test the theory. They used 301 post-mortem brain samples from Mount Sinai Brain Bank and 600 brain samples from the Religious Orders Study in Memory and Aging Project. They used a method called PATSEC, which plows through large amounts of human sequencing data and picks out the microbial sequences, which included 118 viruses. They discovered no difference between the human herpes virus 6A or human herpes virus 6B RNA sequence in the diseased and healthy brains. They later tested the DNA sequence for the human herpes virus 6A and human herpes virus 6B and found no differences either. Ben Redhead did the same testing and found evidence that supports the connection of HIV and Alzheimer's. He used the same variables and testing method and came across a larger amount of similarities. Redhead found the human herpes virus 6A frequencies ranging from 18 to 35% and the human herpes virus 6B frequencies ranging from 15 to 31%, while Jacobson and his team only found 0 to 2.2% of the human herpes virus 6A and human herpes virus 6B. The significant difference can be explained by the PATSEC tool not detecting small concentrations of the human herpes virus 6A. This is a picture of a male individual with both Alzheimer's and the HIV virus. This is my reference slide and the slide after as well.